In this short video, we'll show you how to unbox and power up the Meridian Ellipse streaming speaker. Firstly, to open the outer box, you need to cut through the tape on top of the box. Take care with whatever type of blade you use to do this. With the top open, you can get to the inner carton. There's a handle which you can use to lift the inner carton and remove it from the outer box. It may be quite a tight fit, so get someone to help you if you think you need an extra pair of hands. To open the inner carton, cut through the two factory security labels on the top front edge of the box. Pull out the tab which is tucked into the front edge and open the top of the box. You can now remove this upper foam packing piece. The Ellipse is packed in a cloth bag, but to avoid the risk of damage to the product's outer surface, it's important that even while it's in the bag, the Ellipse should only ever be placed down on the feet on its base. You can tell which way up the Ellipse is while it's in the bag because it's packed with the Meridian name on top of the unit. Untie the drawstring so the bag can be loosened. Carefully remove the Ellipse and again place it down on its feet. Within the bottom of the carton, you'll find the power cable and the accessories bag. You can now connect power to the unit. There is no power on-off switch on the Ellipse, so it will start to boot up as soon as the power is connected. It takes about 30 seconds to boot up, which is indicated by the Meridian logo on top of the unit flashing blue. Once the flashing stops, the Ellipse is ready to use. So, now you can start using the Ellipse. You may be planning to stream to it over your network or via Bluetooth. Or you may want to connect other audio sources to the inputs on the back panel and to play them through the Ellipse. However you use it, those subjects and more are covered in other videos in this series. Please check them out to discover how to make the most of your Ellipse streaming speaker. In this short video, we'll show you the easiest way to connect your Meridian Ellipse streaming speaker to a Wi-Fi network, which is done by using the Meridian Control app. In addition to allowing you to create a network connection, the Meridian Control app supports the full range of control and setup features offered by the Ellipse. It's the best way to control the product, and it also gives you access to other setup options so you can maximize performance for any given room setting. This means that you may find yourself using the Control app on a day-to-day basis, or you may just use it for initial setup. Either way, it allows you to optimize sound quality and to tailor your listening experiences to suit your personal preferences. As you'd expect, the app is downloadable from the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. In this video, we're going to use a phone to show you how the app behaves when you first use it, but all devices act in much the same way. When the Ellipse is powered up, it automatically advertises itself wirelessly so it can be found by the Meridian app. Once you've downloaded and installed it, open the app. Tap on the Setup button to continue, then tap on Setup Product to start the simple setup process, which will walk you through the steps. The app will show available networks. Select the network the Ellipse is going to be used on, and usually this will be the same one that the phone or tablet is using. Once the Wi-Fi connection has been made successfully, the app will move on to the next step. The next screen allows you to give your Ellipse the name you want to appear within streaming apps and on Bluetooth devices. For example, Living Room Ellipse. Once you've entered the desired name, tap on Next to move to the next step. You can now set the Ellipse to the appropriate time zone and tap on Next. Here, 3 options for audio playback are shown. You may choose to access one or more of these at this point, or you might prefer to just skip to the next step for now. Google Cast provides a few simple steps to allow the Ellipse to be used with the Google Home app. Bluetooth gives you instructions for pairing the Ellipse with a Bluetooth device. Connections provides details of the audio inputs and other connections on the back panel of the Ellipse. Once you have finished with the audio options, tap on Next at the bottom of the screen to complete the setup. The Ellipse is now connected to the Wi-Fi network, and if you changed its name, the new name will be stored to the product. It'll stay connected to that network unless the Wi-Fi connection is lost. Tap on Finish to exit the setup process. The app will enter control mode, showing a list of the Meridian products that the app can find on the network. So, if your Ellipse is the only such product, it will be the only product shown here. Tap on the entry for the Ellipse to access the control options within the app. The app also features a configuration mode, which is accessed by tapping on the burger menu on the top left corner of the screen. Configuration contains the full range of the Ellipse setup options. Otherwise, you can switch away from the app and start streaming audio or listen to anything you have plugged into the inputs on the back of the Ellipse. Before we sign off, and while we're talking about using the Ellipse with a network connection, we should mention Spotify Connect and Tidal Connect, both of which are supported by the Ellipse. These two services offer streaming over the network, in addition to streaming via Bluetooth. We strongly recommend using the network in favor of Bluetooth. There are two good reasons for this. For one, it allows the best available sound quality for these streaming apps. It also avoids tying up your phone while it streams Bluetooth, meaning you can use the phone for other things without interrupting the music you're playing. You might even want to invite your friends to ask them around to share the great sound of your Ellipse. We hope you found this explanation useful. Please check out the other videos in this series for more advice on getting the most from the Meridian Ellipse. In this short video, we're going to show you how to access and adjust some of the audio settings on the Meridian Ellipse streaming speaker using the Meridian Control app. All of the default settings on the Ellipse have been chosen so that the product sounds great straight out the box. However, there are easy-to-use settings which let you tailor the sound to suit your personal preferences, as well as optimizing performance for the room and the location within the room. We've created another video which shows you how to get up and running with the Meridian app. So please watch this to get the most out of your Ellipse. When you run the app, it will list your Ellipse as available for control, as shown here. If you have other network-connected Meridian products, they will also appear on this list. Otherwise, just the Ellipse will appear on its own. Tap on the entry for Ellipse to access the control options. There are 3 alternative screen views available when using the app to control Ellipse. Each view offers different features. Tapping on the 3 icons at the bottom of the screen switches between these options. Here, you can see that the control screen is deliberately quite minimal, offering basic controls such as volume adjustments with level indication, a mute button, source selection, and an on-off button. This video highlights the menus view, where you can gain access to audio adjustment controls. Most of us are familiar with treble and bass controls, but it's worth knowing that their implementation here uses sophisticated DSP, so you can tailor the tonal balance of the sound without introducing unwanted artifacts or distortion. Image focus is one of the 12 unique Meridian technologies employed within the Ellipse. 8 of these DSP-based features works in the background, improving the sound without any input from the user. However, there are 4 technologies that you can access and adjust using the Meridian app. Image focus is used to compensate for when you're listening from a position which is off-center from the speaker. By applying a combination of carefully calculated delays and level adjustments, image focus shifts the sonic image so that the realistic sound stage can still be heard even when you're not directly in front of the Ellipse. As you may know, bass frequencies are boosted when sound reflects off walls and any other flat surfaces which are close to a speaker. FreeQ allows you to compensate for this by letting you choose between 4 frequency profiles created for different scenarios where the ellipse might be located. These are for use in free space, near any wall or on a shelf or close to a corner. Phase and space is an extremely important technology for the ellipse. It adjusts the perceived width of the sound stage while ensuring the bass output from the speaker is optimized. By default, the maximum setting is applied. This gives the widest and biggest sound, and it tends to be the preferred option. However, as with the other audio settings, there are no hard or fast rules for what should be used. Personal tastes differ, as do installation situations. This is why these settings are user adjustable, and the really handy thing is that they can be adjusted while you're actually listening to music. Image elevation helps match the perceived height of the ellipse's sound image to the height of the listener. For example, if the ellipse is used on a low countertop or table, image elevation can be adjusted to lift the image so it seems to originate from somewhere above the speaker. As stated previously, all of the default settings on the ellipse have been chosen so that the product sounds great straight out of the box. However, the audio controls we've talked about here are to allow you to achieve the best possible audio performance from the speaker. You can experiment, find the sound you prefer, and maximize the enjoyment you get from your music. We hope you found this video useful. Please check out the other videos in this series for more advice on getting the most from the Meridian Ellipse. In this video, we'll show you how simple it is to play audio on the Meridian Ellipse streaming speaker from a phone, tablet or computer using Bluetooth wireless technology. Whatever device you are using, the first thing to do is to make sure Bluetooth is activated from within the device's settings. We're showing you this on a phone, but it's pretty well the same for all types of devices. Next, bring the Ellipse out of standby by touching the Meridian logo on its control panel. Then, put the speaker into Bluetooth pairing mode by touching and holding the illuminated Bluetooth control. The flashing Meridian logo shows us that the pairing mode has been activated. Now, within the settings on your device, go to Bluetooth and find the Ellipse in the list. Tap on the entry for Ellipse to pair the device to the speaker. You can now select a streaming app and start playing audio from the Ellipse. If the sound comes out of your phone rather than the speaker, it just means that you need to select Bluetooth playback within the streaming app. We hope you found this explanation useful. Please check out the other videos in this series for more advice on getting the most from the Meridian Ellipse. In this short video, we'll explain how to use the audio inputs on the back panel of the Meridian Ellipse streaming speaker. In addition to being a streaming speaker, the Ellipse can play audio from other products plugged into any of the 3 audio inputs on its back panel. These are a USB-C input, a digital optical input, and an analog input. The optical and analog inputs share a single 3.5mm socket, which accepts either a stereo analog mini jack or a mini optical plug. If you don't have a mini optical cable, the Ellipse is supplied with an adapter which converts a standard optical cable so that it fits into the socket. So, if you've plugged any of the products into the Ellipse, how do you select the source so you can listen to it? Well, this can be done in a few different ways. Firstly, you can select any of the available sources from within the Meridian Control app. Not surprisingly, tapping on the source name selects the source. We've created another video which shows you how to get up and running with the Meridian app. Secondly, you can step between all 5 sources using single taps on the Meridian logo touch control on top of the Ellipse. If you go past the source you want, keep tapping and you'll go round to it again. You may notice that when playing streamed audio, all of the touch controls on top of the unit are illuminated and available for use. provided the app being used supports those functions. However, when any of the inputs on the back panel are selected for listening, the controls for previous, next, play, pause are unavailable and are not illuminated. This leads us to an important point. You may have already noticed that the ellipse itself does not provide any visual indication for exactly which source is currently selected. Therefore, we strongly recommend using the Meridian Control app to switch between audio inputs. It provides a straightforward method for selecting sources, and more importantly, it shows which input is selected for listening. One final thing. If audio is played from a streaming service while any of the back panel audio inputs are selected, the unit will automatically switch to playing the streamed audio. There's no need to mess around selecting the streaming source, which just makes life that bit easier. We hope you found this explanation useful. Please check out the other videos in this series for more advice on getting the most from your Meridian Ellipse. The Meridian Ellipse streaming speaker features a number of setup options that are not required for day-to-day use, and some which are needed only in particular circumstances. One example is a place where you can give the ellipse a customized name, such as living room ellipse or kitchen speaker, which will be the name that appears for the ellipse within any streaming apps you use. These settings are accessible only via the Meridian Control app, and they are gathered together within an area known as a configuration section of the app. The configuration section also contains read-only information relating to your ellipse. This includes its firmware version, its serial number, and its network settings. The purpose of this video is not to explain all of the settings themselves. They're fully described in the online user guide, but rather, we just want to show you how to put the ellipse into configuration mode. That way, you'll know how to get the settings as and when you need to adjust or view them. We've created another video which shows you how to use the app to connect the ellipse to a Wi-Fi network. Check that out to get yourself up and running with the app. When the app is launched, it will list your ellipse as available for control, as shown here, indicated by the heading of control. If you have other network-connected Meridian products, they will also appear on this list. Otherwise, just the ellipse will appear on its own. As you might guess, if you tap on the entry for ellipse, you can access its control options and use them to drive the product while listening to music. However, we're not going to do that right now. Instead, to get to the ellipse's setup options, we tap on the burger menu icon in the top left corner of the screen and select configuration from the list of options. The app will show the ellipse and any other Meridian products under the configuration heading. Tap on the entry for ellipse to get to its settings. The app will display 10 expandable menus and the ellipse will be switched into configuration mode. If we now look at the top of the ellipse itself, we can see the Meridian M logo on the control panel is showing in this cyan color. This shows the unit is in configuration mode. Also, the ellipse always falls silent when in configuration mode, so don't panic if any audio being played stops at this point. Going back to the app, as you may guess, you can open any of the menus by tapping on it. The app works in real time, meaning that any changes made within the app are transferred to the ellipse there and then. That's not a problem for most of the settings. But bear in mind that the app works over the network, so if you change something you don't understand within its network settings, you may disconnect the app from your ellipse. In that case, the usual course of action is to resort to completely resetting the ellipse to its factory settings using the red button on the back of the unit. To leave configuration mode, just tap on the exit in the top left corner of the screen. The Meridian logo on the top of the ellipse will turn to dark blue, showing the product is out of configuration and back into standby mode. Within the app, you can get back to control mode by tapping on the burger menu in the top left corner of the screen and then selecting control. Tap on the ellipse entry and it'll take you back to the control options. You can then continue using the ellipse with any settings you've changed. We hope you found this explanation useful. Please check out the other videos in this series for more advice on getting the most from your Meridian Ellipse.